Mubarak!
Justice for 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 Mubarak!
We are angry and we want action. We stand here because our grievances and protests haven't been heard for far too long now. We stand here wanting justice for those who are not here with us today, including my brother, Mubarak Soulemane, who was brutally murdered by State Trooper Mariyann Soulemane. Just recently, we witnessed accountability take place with George Floyd's murderer. And everyone rejoiced over the fact that the white man who executed a black man in public was finally convicted. It was a sad day, honestly. So sad to me that we had to cheer in victory at what was clearly the only outcome. But our system is so broken that people were expecting the worst. People were ready to riot. How sad, America. How demoralizing it is that Black, Indigenous, and people of color are always on guard and always expecting the worst. Shame on you, America. And shame on you, Connecticut. Governor Lamont, you posted immediately on your Twitter praising the verdict of George Floyd murder. But how about those murderers right here in Connecticut, in our backyards? We want answers. We want action. We want accountability. When will our family receive this justice you so speak of in your video, Governor? We are waiting to see the dedication for these senseless killings taking place in Connecticut by the forces you claim are here to protect us. This epidemic of police violence in Connecticut is affecting our communities and tearing up families. The only real justice would be for my brother to be alive here today, to have Jason alive today, to have Stephen Barrier alive today, and many others, too many to count. Where is the accountability for our families, Governor? Thank you.
Sanford Rubenstein, civil rights attorney for the family of Mubarak Soulemane. Governor, it's over a year since the killing of Mubarak Soulemane by State Trooper Brian North. The state's attorney has been conducting an investigation for over a year. There is video, pictures of the truth. Why has a report and an arrest not been made? Why has your state's attorney, your appointed, not issued a report with regard to his findings of his investigation when video, pictures of the truth is clearly out there and clearly demonstrates what this family believes was an execution? Governor, you came out here to conduct the press conference, but as soon as we came and you saw our signs and you saw the sister of Mubarak Soulemane, you went back inside and you're not coming out. Well, you can't hide from the truth, Governor. Your state's attorney has been investigating for over a year. Time is up.
I'm Mark Arons. I'm Connecticut counsel to the Soulemane family. As we all know now from the Chauvin trial in Minneapolis, there's only one issue, and that is, did Mubarak pose an imminent threat to law enforcement or others? And the answer is clearly no. There's no justification for the shooting of Mubarak in West Haven January a year ago. Mubarak was in a car with the windows up, the doors closed. He was fully isolated, fully contained, posed no threat. He had a steak knife with him about so long, so he couldn't have hurt anyone even if he tried. The murder of Mubarak has to be addressed by the arrest and prosecution of State Trooper Brian North.
Good afternoon. My name is Reverend Kevin McCall, founder of the Crisis Action Center, civil rights leader of the greater New York area. We have been with this case from day one, right before the pandemic happened, right before George Floyd happened, right before Dante Wright happened, right before Andrew Brown happened. You had Soulemane Mubarak. Not only this, you had that case happened, but you had it on videotape where body cameras were released and you saw the thug officer Brian North did execution style of killing as if he was at a rodeo club. Officer Brian North should not be on the force. We should not be having this conversation a whole year later of fighting for injustices around this country. It's disrespectful for the governor to go all the way miles away to not respond to this family or not even say anything publicly in regards to the case with their loved one, their brother, their son, their community member, Mubarak. And as far as I'm concerned, is justice delayed, is justice denied. Don't wait till you give a report and the report comes back and say that we're not going to do anything in the case. Don't re-victimize the victim by not providing the justice for this family. As far as I'm concerned, Officer Brian North, who you see in this picture, he deserved to be up north. He needs to be up north in jail. That's the conversation that we should be having, not the conversation of when the governor is going to respond. That's the right way of justice when you see officers be held responsible criminally for creating criminal acts. There's reports in the media that have asked me questions and asked the attorneys questions. Well, he had a knife. Yes, he did have a knife, but he had his windows up. The knife was in his car. The officer, Brian North, and the other officer who broke his window was not in immediate harm. The other officer chased him down the highway, which is illegal and against the Connecticut state trooper policy to begin with. So they broke the laws, and they have to be responsible and be held accountable for breaking the law. So we came here to the Capitol to raise the temperature up a little bit. And they keep getting on our nerves and providing not justice, we may raise it up a little more. Because that's what they respect, is raising the temperature. Don't blame me for raising the temperature and predicting a forecast, because something that you created. So as long as there's no justice for Mubarak, then we'll continue to raise the temperature as much as possible. Justice for Mubarak!
Justice for Mubarak!
Justice for Mubarak!
Justice for Mubarak!
Just a quick thing here. This is Trooper North, and this is the window that was just shot out by Trooper North. You can see the windows up, the doors are closed. Mubarak has nowhere to go and poses no harm to anyone.
And there is video that you all have which shows this trooper firing 7 times into a car when he was not in any way, shape, or form in danger with regard to his own safety.
Let's give this sister a hand. She's been on it from day one. She's been putting troops on the ground.
Members to the chamber or to your point.
Give us your name, please.
My name is Ortoleva, and I'm the head organizer for Justice for Mubarak.
Could you spell that, please?
KIRAORTOLEVA. Before we begin, I want to make note that 2 days ago was May 9th, and that was the 4-year anniversary of Jason Negron being shot and killed by Bridgeport police officer James Boulay. He is still on the force to this day and has 3 pending lawsuits against him. The only thing that has happened is that he has received a pay raise. You can stand here and say that the epidemic in this country of police violence does not exist, but black men are 3 times more likely to be killed by police than their white counterparts and are 1.3% more likely to be unarmed. Police use of force is responsible for death involving 1.6% of black men, 1.2% of Native men, 0.5% of Asian men, 1.2% of Latino men, and 0.5% of white men. And 98.3% of these killings by police between 2013 and 2020 did not result in a conviction. This is not an individual problem with police. This is a systematic effort to create modernized racism that upholds and accepts these behaviors. That's why we call for defunding the police and abolishment after. There are so many stories from the state of Connecticut, whether it be Stephen Barrier, Mubarak Soulemane, or Jason Negron.